Hey y'all, so I don't know about y'all, but I actually do think that Portia and Phaedra and Drew might be setting up K Michelle. And here's why I think that. Now, if you go back to that dinner that he had that night, and when Portia was making the jokes about the oysters, first when she made the first joke, she was like, "Oh, this vagina looks clean." Clearly, that was a dig back to Kelly based off of what Kelly had already said to her in the van, okay? But if you notice, when she kept digging around, she said, "Well, this one might have a little stench." Notice how K Michelle had a look on her face, but more importantly, Drew had a look on her face. And the look on Drew's face was, "Girl, why do you say that?" It's almost like it was an inside thing. Like if you really look at Drew's face, to me, Drew's face was a giveaway that something more was there. Because before K Michelle explained it later, I was a little bit confused because I was just like, why would she say that? But then that's my other question though, because when Kay is telling the story of how she thinks everybody's plotting against her, she said that she got a call that night. So if you got the call that night, which would have been after dinner, how did you know that comment that Portia made was really a dig towards you? Are you really thinking that rumor is on the forefront of everybody's mind? To be honest with you, a lot of people didn't even know about it. So that's my only thing about that. First of all, Portia never really made jokes like that. And then there was no reason for her to make that comment. Like, again, the first comment about the vagina, I get that when the vagina being clean, that made sense to go back to Kelly. But it didn't make sense for her to go that second route. She could have just cut it off there. So that to me was a little suspect. So I kind of do think that they might be setting her up on that. But my thing with K Michelle, I need the real K Michelle to stand up at this point because right now she's being how Kelly is. You know how Kelly loved to be this confessional gangster? My thing is this. If you were told that these ladies are trying to set you up in some regard and you feel some type of way about it, why not just tell them? I don't understand why we had to spend all morning the next day talking in circles, crying, and talking about how you don't want nobody playing in your face. Okay, just go and say what you got to say. Meanwhile, Portia all in your face trying to console you. If you got a problem with her, why would not just address it? You don't want to tell anybody what's going on, but then you're also disrupting the flow of the group, right? This was supposed to be Cynthia's thing, and now you're upset. And I understand things happen, but just go and hash it out. That's my thing. I don't understand why she's acting this way, right? And then let's talk about Drew and K Michelle, shall we? This whole black thing, okay? The way I see it, when Drew said, "Hey, I think you know him," I really don't think she meant anything about it. Because if we're being honest and we go back to the scene where K Michelle was in the phone talking to Blackman after Drew introduced him, it did sound like it was familiar. She said, "Oh, it's so nice to see you." That sounds like something you would say to somebody that you do know. So all Drew was saying, "Hey, it looks like you know him." She didn't say nothing about, "It looks like y'all sleep together." She didn't even go that far. You already addressed it with her once at dinner, and then you bring it up again. I don't know whoever's feeding her this information, whoever that may be, telling her that she's telling everybody in Atlanta. But if that was the case, Drew would be saying a little bit more about it to the girls, right? Like, I feel like if it was really a thing, she would have discussed it with Angela, because her and Angela are really good friends. But it's not even like that. So K Michelle is the one that keeps bringing this up, which is suspicious if you think about it, because you seem to be really bothered by this. Why are you so bothered by this black man? I'm kind of with Portia on this one. Like, why is he worth for this? Here, you and Drew about to go to blows over somebody that you claim that you don't even deal with. And then I have to say, Drew probably felt a little bit crazy when she related back to Black about what happened between her and Kay, just for him to confirm that he did, in fact, DM K Michelle, and she didn't even know it. So now she looked crazy because here this is going on, and she doesn't know, and he had to know that she was in the group with them. So why not just be upfront? But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they together, but the way she keep getting angry about it makes me feel like maybe there's more to that story, okay? Here's what K Michelle needs to realize. Apparently, she forgot how reality TV works. Let's just say for a second that they are trying to set her up. What she doesn't even realize is that they actually manipulated her to tell her own tea. Think about it. Everybody know how reactive K Michelle is, right? And she did exactly what they wanted done. She was the one who aired out her own stuff. She was the one who's talking about how the whole thing with Black, making it seem like it's more than what it is. But more importantly, she's the one who brought up the rumor. What if I told you many of us wouldn't know anything about this rumor until you brought it up? Because truth be told, we don't know for sure if they were going to bring it up or not. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have put that bug in your head just to get in your head. And it clearly worked. They got in your head, and here you done told all of America about this rumor that half of us didn't know about. Because not everybody watched The Breakfast Club, okay? And even if you did watch The Breakfast Club, you might have forgotten all about it. So congratulations, you revived it. Like, you did their dirty work for them. Congratulations. I get it. She's had bad experiences with women in the past, but it's kind of giving off paranoid. She's being overly sensitive to little things. It just seems like she's just picking. Because even I go back to the whole thing that she had with Portia about the miscarriage. Now, granted, maybe Portia should have just blurted out, "Oh, you have a miscarriage?" But we know that girl don't think. So I really don't think Portia meant anything in that moment. I really think that Portia probably forgot about whatever discussion they had. and about her surgeries. To be fair, if you're not thinking about the surgeries that she had, the way she was describing the incident, it did sound like a miscarriage, to be fair. So that's kind of why Porsha probably blurted it out, even though she shouldn't have. But that's why she thought about that. But I don't really think she had any ill intent at that moment. So I need, if Kate gonna be on the show, Kate gotta be willing to stand up. And it's like, we ain't got time to be talking in circles. We all grown. And I don't know if you guys saw Porsha and Kate Michelle were actually going back and forth on Twitter. And Kate Michelle called her a cow. And Porsha's like, I think the cow is the person who's tweeting when you're 2 doors from me and you could have just brought it to my door. Right? You're kind of making yourself look a little crazy that you got all this mouth behind the scenes, but then you don't want to step to anybody about it. Okay? I do want to mention, I do like the fact that she called out Shamir, because if you recall, Drew and Kate Michelle were talking about Black at the dinner. And they were trying to get clear up on the fact that she doesn't really know Black and she didn't understand what Drew was trying to infer. But all the while that was happening, Shamir kept making little comments. Oh, it don't take but 5 minutes to make a man happy, and not the way you be on the phone with him for him not to be your man. My thing is, why you whispering? Say what you got to say, right? Just go ahead and say what you got to say to the table. And matter of fact, Drew called her out. She was just like, okay, Shamir's over here whispering, like, what do you got to say? And Shamir didn't even say anything, so why not say it? Shamir could have just let it go and just let them work it out. Okay, we get it. You don't like Drew. That's fine, but you can let them have that, okay? And then the next day when Kate Michelle was breaking down, crying, Shamir was trying to comfort her. And then him and Angela trying to make a whole thing about it. Talking about, oh, well, Shamir, you over here making faces. You know something and you're not bringing it to the group. And Shamir had to tell her, girl, first of all, she confided in me. So when people confide in me, I have to keep that to myself, which is a new concept for Angela. Because let's face it, she doesn't do the whole secrets thing. You tell Angela something, she's going right back to tell. So I got to be honest, I have to agree with Shamir when she said that Angela is messy, because she is, right? Because look at the whole freaking frat thing. She couldn't wait to go back to the table and tell them how Kelly said that freaking frat was whack and that they were the ones that needed to be in the pool house, right? And even now, she's trying to stir up something with trying to make it seem like Shamia knows more, which she does. But again, if she confided in her, it wasn't her story to tell. It was up to Kate Michelle. My thing is, Kate Michelle's an adult. Kate Michelle needs to be the one to address the situation, okay? But I will say this, though. They were also talking about how Shamia blames Angela for ruining her friendship with Porsha. Here's my thing. Granted, Angela did plant the seed by going back and telling Porsha what she said, but Shamia got to take some accountability, though, right? Because there wouldn't have been a discussion if you wasn't running your mouth. So at some point, you got to own up to the fact that you was talking trash about Porsha. So once again, instead of bringing it to her face and saying whatever you got to say to her face, you were sitting there talking to Kelly and everybody else about how you feel about Porsha and what Porsha did and bringing up all this old stuff. So, girl, you got to take some accountability. You are part of the reason things went south because you don't know how to communicate. Okay? So, yeah, I am going to say that Angela is messy. So, anyway, so there's that. And, of course, I think the main thing after that was, of course, they got ready for Cynthia's gala. And Cynthia had this jeweler come by, and so the girls can borrow the diamonds. Now, notice, Phaedra was the only one that was unfazed by the amount of money that the diamonds cost. She was like, oh, 100 grand, that's not bad. Let's not forget, she is the same person who struck a check for $50K when she was on Married in Medicine to make up the difference for their charity, okay? So y'all can say what y'all want about Phaedra, but Phaedra got bags, apparently, because everybody else was like, ooh, oh my goodness, I can't hold this kind of money. Phaedra was unbothered. I was kind of sad that they had storming and everything like that for her trip. They worked so hard on it. Everybody looked good. But it turned out to be a good event. The men came through, and Pinky's telling her husband he looks handsome. I've been told. I'm just like, anyway, like, you could have said something nice to her or whatever. Anyway, it was a nice event. But then, of course, there's Drew. This girl, how you really going to show up at the end of the event? Well, it's better late than never. And it's like, did you really intend on coming? You came all the way down there. You mean to tell me you couldn't pop a couple of leaves to see what was going on with that headache and see how things flush out? Like, you couldn't get there any sooner than the end of the event? Girl, whatever. So listen, I know all of them have a little petty drama and all that, but is it just me? Are they trying just a little bit too hard for some of these arguments? Because let's go back to when Kelly and Porsha was finishing their argument at the beginning of the episode. I don't understand how y'all sit there and have this nasty debate, okay? Going blow to blow. We talking about each other's boxes and this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, Pinky changes the topic. And we on a whole other thing, like nothing happened. Like, I was with Kay on that one. Kay was just like, so this what y'all do? We just gonna argue, act like nothing happened? There was no resolve or anything. They just moved on. Like, it was just another day in the neighborhood. Let's face it, we know scripted. But y'all just arguing on cue? Is that what we doing now? Like, we argue on cue and then we just get over it and move on? See, I thought it was crazy that they ended their argument like that. But I will say, at the table, it was kind of big of Porsha to be like, hey, that's not the person I am anymore. I don't need to be bringing in your business, anything like that. So she apologized for her comments, whether she meant it or not, whatever. But she did at least apologize. And Kelly just kept it a buck. She was just like, nah, we good where we are. You know what I'm saying? She ain't front. Let's face it, we know Kelly can't stand Porsha. If we gonna be fair, she's been gunning for Porsha from day one. And yes, on the one hand, Porsha should be called out. Because let's face it, Porsha escaped accountability right after she got engaged to Simon, right? Because we all know she quit Housewives and went on her married life. So I think Kelly is just trying to be the one. But I feel like Kelly needs to do something else, because I'm tired of you just coming for Porsha all the time. Even though in this case, Porsha did throw something back at her, but it's like, we got to move on. So I guess we will see what happens. But I'm hoping next week. K. Michelle did say that she was going to wait till they got back to Atlanta to address everything. So the question is, are you going to actually address everything? And not only are you going to address it, are you going to be clear about your stance and why you're mad? Because ain't nobody got time to be sitting there trying to figure out mysteries and solve puzzles and whatnot to figure out why you're crying and stuff. You grown. Use your words. Okay? Communicate. Here's what the newbies got to realize. If you watched Atlanta franchise from day one, you know that folks will say whatever they got to say to your face, and they say with their whole chest, okay? So I'm going to need all the newbies to fall in line and do likewise. I will say, though, Pinky and Angela understand the assignment. And Shamia been there long enough to know what it is. I will say this. I do like when they were trying to get everything resolved. Like when Shamia called the meeting about the plotting going on with Kay, I like how she got them all together. I was like, look, y'all not about to sit around trying to put it on me like I'm the one that's sitting here telling her stuff. And she was like, Kim Michelle, you need to go ahead and just clear my name on this. You need to let them know that I ain't had nothing to do with that, and you the one came to me. You came to me with all of this. So I was like the fact that she got all of them together. It was like, look, not today. Not today. Okay, y'all not about to make me out to be the pot stirrer. Ain't nobody starting nothing. Ain't nobody thinking about y'all. Period. Even though she is thinking about Porsha. Porsha's all she talked about, but whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. In that moment, she was right. So I'll give Shamia some credit for that one. So we gonna see what the girls are doing next week, child. You already know it's gonna be some drama. So child, let's check back in next week and see what they got going on. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe it. Thank you. See you next time.